Hello class, my name is Alexander Perez, and in order to continue with the topic using games in teaching, we summarize all the information that my partners gave to you at the first parts of this video, and we create this presentation. First of all, we want to share with you a small article written by Mr. Mark Frensley, which says like this: there is a generation that can memorize over 100 Pokemon characters with all their characteristics, history, and evolution cannot learn the names, populations, capitals, and relationships of all the 101 nations in the world. We found this article in this digital magazine. Take a look at this and you will find very interesting articles about education and technology. Well, first of all, to continue with the topic, we want to share with you that the first step is the most challenging, because when you are integrating games to your teaching, you have to be very sure that the game you choose works very well with the topic that you want to teach to your students. That's the most challenging step, because if the game doesn't work well with your topic, you won't reach the objective of teaching the topic to your students. Once you have done that part, the benefits are great. For example, you make learning fun, liven up your classroom, motivate your students to learn outside the classroom, and so on. In our search for information about this topic, we found this: game-based learning. What is game-based learning? Well, we can tell you that that's a guide that you can follow. They give you a very specific and detailed tips to help you in the process to integrate games to your teaching. For example, take a look to this one. In order to create a truly educational game, the instructor needs to make sure that learning the material is essential to scoring and winning, and so on, because these guys are very useful. At the end of this presentation, you will find the links to this information. I suggest you to take a look to these, because they are very useful when you are working in the process of integrate games to your teaching. This GLB, or game-based learning, they divide the games in two kinds. First of all, we have this: video games. You find here computer games, online games, and console games. There are games that are ready-made for educational purposes, or you can adapt common games for educational purposes too. These games are very popular with the kids, because I think that all the kids love video games, so they are very useful when you want to catch the attention of your students. By the other hand, we have the traditional games, which are classroom games. In this category includes board games and card games and all kinds of activities that you can imagine and create to work with your students in the classroom. These games don't have the same impact and the same popularity that the video games have with the kids. They are very useful to work with them in the class. The second part of this presentation, we have 11 reasons why you should integrate games in your teaching. I won't read it all, but just take a look to the few ones that we think that are more relevant. For example, this one: gaming activities stimulates the kid's brain, as Ben Mandel, PhD researcher with Project Zero at Harvard University, argues. Kids learn through all their senses, and they like to touch and manipulate things. That's a very good reason why you integrate games in your teaching. When you have a group, say about 30 students, every student is a different world, so reach the attention or approaches to each student is very difficult. So games help us to reach more efficiently to every student. For example, like says here, students have different learning styles, and games can cater to all these styles: auditory, kinesthetic, tactile, and visual learners. So the games are very useful to approach to all your students, no matter what kind of style of learning your student have. Another reason that is very important is this: games enhance students' motor skills coordination, an essential element for carrying on functional activities throughout their entire lives. Because with games, your students are not sitting on their chairs, they are moving around the classroom, or even you include them in outdoors activities. So this is a very, very good strategy to make a good contribution to the motor skills coordination of your students. Another good reason is this one. According to Richard Van Eck, games and play can be effective learning environments, not because they are fun, but because they are immersive, require the player to make frequent important decisions, have clear goals, adapt to each player individually, and involve a social network. This is very important. As we learned this semester, social networks can be not only used for fun, we integrate social network for educational purposes. So this is a very good reason to integrate games in your teaching. Another one, this one, is very important. Most of popular games develop communities around them. These communities are what James Polgy called affinity space. In these gaming affinity spaces, gamers get to share ideas, use group problem definition and problem solving, socialize, and develop social skills. So, with games, you can teach to your students how to work with other people, to work in group, no matter that the people are not in the same place with the student. People can be very, very far, and the student can be in contact with them using the technology that we have today. Well, finally, we conclude with this. In conclusion, we can say that using games in education is a very good strategy to involve students in the learning process by providing new experiences to their goal personal growth. So, you can change the traditional way to teach. You can make it better, make it and the fun, very process, a fun process. So, and you can use an excellent tool is technology, as it gives us an endless number of opportunities to develop activities such as using the internet for educational purposes. So, technology is a very useful tool to teach nowadays. So, just make a decision and include technology and games to your teaching. So, in this final part, here are the links for all the sources where I suggest you to take a look, because they are very, very valuable information. So, thank you very much and see you later.